Hi viewers, in this video we are going to discuss about the subject is the child health nursing. Okay, fourth unit, disorders and health problems of a child. In this fourth unit we are going to discuss about the topic is the measles. Okay, in this this is the video continuation of previous videos. Here I am going to give information regarding clinical features of measles. In these, the clinical features are mainly in the 3 stages. Okay, clinical features 3 stages. That is the first one is the prodromal phase. Prodromal phase. Next one is the eruptive phase. Third one is the convalescent phase. Okay, here what happens in the prodromal phase? Okay, depending upon the some changes, some modifications, the clinical features is divided into 3 stages. Okay, in the first stage what happens means here temperature should be raised. Who are affected by this measles communicable disease, those children's or body temperature should be increased than the normal. Next, here Hawking cough. Hawking cough nothing but frequency in cough. Okay, the cough should have the regularly, continuously the children having the cough. Next, here running nose. The children are having the one symptom like running nose, another one is the sneezing. Okay, they are having the sneezing. Redness of eyes. Redness of eyes. Why? Because here due to one reason is there, no, in the eyes, that is the conjunctivitis disease. Okay, due to the conjunctivitis the children may be affected by this measles disease. Okay, due to that the children are having the redness of eyes. Okay, next here Koplik spot. In this Koplik spot what happens means red color or red rash on the skin. Okay, small red rash on the skin. These are the clinical features identified in the prodromal phase. Temperature increased. Who are having the body temperature, the temperature should be increased. Next here running nose, hawking cough, sneezing, redness of eyes, Koplik spot. Okay, these are the stages. Next second one is the eruptive phase. Okay, in this eruptive phase what happens means the children are having the fever, means the body temperature should be increased. Okay, next here the rashes first appear behind the ears. Here one symptom is there, no, rashes should be identified in the children who are having the measles disease condition. Okay, here what is that means? The rashes should be appears behind the ears. Okay, every children having the behind the ears one rashes is identified. Next on the face. Okay, next trunk. On the body the rashes should be identified, and also extremities also having the some of the rashes. Next here the rashes appears in this stage brown color. In this stage the rashes appears brown color. These are the differentiation between the prodromal phase and eruptive phase. Okay, in this eruptive phase fever in the first stage also body temperature increased. Okay, in the second stage also body temperature increased. Here what is the difference between means here the rashes should be appears behind the ears and face, trunk, extremities. Next here the rashes appears brown color. Okay, in the first stage red color, in the second stage brown color. This is the difference between the first stage and second stage. Okay, next the third stage convalescent stage. Third stage is the convalescent stage. Here what happens means the rashes should be disappears. Okay, here the rashes should be disappears when 4 to 5 days after exposing. Okay, 4 to 5 days. The rashes once we are observed on the body means the rashes is there in the up to 4 to 5 days. After completion of duration the rash should be disappear. Next here the children are having the one symptom like anorexia. Okay, anorexia means here the children are not having sufficient or the appetite, good appetite. Okay, here the children are having loss of appetite. Next here lymphadenopathy. What is meant by lymphadenopathy? In this the lymphadenopathy, lymph nodes or the lymph nodes identified. Okay, here the lymphatic tissue should be increased their size. Okay, this is regarding clinical features of third stage. Okay, next we are going to discuss about diagnosis. What is the diagnosis? How we are identified the children is suffering with the measles disease. Okay, here first one is the depending up as a nurse we have to collect history from the children. Okay, from the children and from the mother or the parents or family members, whatever it may be. Anyway, we are getting the information regarding children. Okay, next here mainly we are decided the children is suffering with the measles depending upon the 3 C's. Okay, one C is the cough, another C is the coryza, another C is the conjunctivitis. Okay, in this cough the children are having the severe excessive frequent cough. Next here coryza, inflammation of the mucous membrane in the nose and mouth. Okay, next conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis means inflammation of the conjunctiva. Due to this the children are having the lacrimination, excessive tears from the eyes. Okay, next here Koplik spot. Okay, by identification of Koplik spot on the face, behind the ears, trunk, extremities, we are decided the children is suffering with the measles. Next here one test we are doing for confirmation of this measles disease. Here what is means specific immunoglobulin M. Okay, immunoglobulins is there, IgG, okay, immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin M. Okay, like that is there. No, here the immunoglobulin M we are identified after appearance of 30 to 60 days of rash. Okay, once the children is having or affected by this measles disease, okay, the skin rashes is identified. After 30 to 60 days we are identified this skin rash, IgG immunoglobulin. Okay. Next in this the ELISA test. ELISA test, what is the abbreviation of ELISA? Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Okay, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This test, what is the use of this test means? The test is used for the detection of measles antibodies. Detection of measles antibodies in the body of children who are suffering with the measles disease condition. Okay, this is the diagnosis for the measles disease condition. Okay. Medical management for the measles. Okay, here according to the prescription of physician, we as a nurse we have to administer the some medication. Here what is that medications? Depending upon the symptoms we have to give some medications to the children. Here what is that medications means? Acetyl salicic acid. Acetyl salicic acid or the paracetamol drug. Okay, acetyl salicic acid or paracetamol drug for the reducing of fever. Okay, one symptom is there, no, the children are suffering with the fever or increased their body temperature. For control, for reducing their body temperature, we have to give this drug acetyl salicic acid, okay, for control or reducing the fever. Okay, next in this one symptom is there, no, cough. Okay, frequency cough, hawking cough. Okay, for reducing, for control of cough, as a nurse we have to administer the medication like Linctus drug. Okay, this is also prescribed by the physician. Next here antibiotics. Why we have to administer the antibiotics means the secondary infection, okay, for prevention of secondary infection like pneumonia, okay, for prevention of secondary infection like pneumonia. Why? Because the children are having the cough symptom, no, okay, that's why we have to administer the antibiotics. Next here we have to administer the drug like ibuprofen, okay, ibuprofen. Why we have to administer this ibuprofen? Means for reducing the pain. If children are having any pain in their body, for reducing pain we have to administer the ibuprofen. Next here we have to administer the bronchodilators. Why we have to administer the bronchodilators? One symptom is there, no, the children are suffering with the breathing difficulty. Here for reducing for control of breathing difficulty, for relief of breathing, okay, for maintenance of normal breathing in the children, we have to administer the bronchodilators. Next here we have to administer the antiemetics drugs. Why we have to administer the antibiotics? What is the use of antiemetics drugs? Means for control of vomitings. Okay, for control of vomitings in the children, we have to administer the antiemetics drugs. Here, for example, andamsterone. This drug is administered for control of vomitings. Next, here vitamin A supplementation to the children. Why? Because one reason is there, no, the children are who are having the malnutrition problem or vitamin A deficiency, those children are risk for the measles, no, okay, for reducing risk of children to the measles, we have to give vitamin A supplementation to the children. Here 2 lakhs international units, okay, this is the dosage of vitamin A supplementation. 2 lakhs international unit, the route is the orally, okay, through the orally we have to administer the vitamin A supplementation in the children above 1 year of age group. Next here we have to give good nutrition to the children for improving their nutritional status. Why? Because one reason is there, no, malnutrition, protein energy malnutrition, okay, the children who are suffering with the deficiency in the proteins or deficiency in the carbohydrates or the nutritive value should be less, means those are easily risk for the measles. Okay, for control of risk in the measles disease condition, we have to provide good nutrition to the children. This is regarding medical management for the children who are suffering with the measles. Okay, next we are going to discuss about nursing management. Okay, as a nurse, what is our role? Okay, according to the physician prescription, according to the physician order, we have to administer these drugs. Okay, okay, as a nurse, what care we have to provide to the children. Okay, in this we have to give complete bed rest to the children. Okay, for improving their health, we have to provide complete bed rest. Next here isolation. Why we have to isolate the children? Means the disease will be easily spreading to the one children to another children. The unhealthy children easily spreading to the healthy children due to the droplets, excessive sneezing or the coughing. Okay, the children easily spreading to the disease. Okay, that's why for prevention of spread of infection, we have to isolate the children up to 4 to 5 days after appearance of the rash. Okay, next here we have to provide oral hygiene. Encourage the mother to give oral hygiene. Why? Because for improving their mouth freshness. Okay, here every 4 hours we have to give oral hygiene. Next skin hygiene. Why we have to give skin hygiene? Why we have to improve the skin hygiene? Means one problem is there, no, skin rashes. Okay, the skin rashes on the body, extremities, trunk, face, behind the ears, one symptom is there, no. For controlling, okay, for improving health of the children, we have to maintain the skin hygiene by providing bathing to the children. Next care of eyes. Okay, for prevention of eye infection or the lacrimination is there, no? One problem, conjunctivitis, okay, dehydration of eyes, we have to provide the eye care. Okay, next here oral fluids. Why we have to provide oral fluids means for improving the fluids in the body, for maintenance of fluid balance in the body. Okay, one problem is there, no? Vomitings. Okay, for reducing vomiting, for controlling vomiting, we have to provide the oral fluids for prevention of dehydration in the body. Next, maintenance of children nutrition. In this, as a nurse, we have to give health education to the mother for improving the children's nutrition, which food is having or which food is healthy for the children. Okay, regarding that we have to give health education to the mother. Next, here management of complications. Okay, when we, immediately or early stage we are not giving sufficient care to the measles. Okay, the measles will be complicated to the some problems. Okay, here for prevention of complications, for managing complications, we have to administer the antibiotics. One complication is there, no? Pneumonia. Okay, that is the secondary infection. For control of or for prevention of secondary infection like pneumonia, we have to administer the antibiotics. Next, here one problem is there, no? That is the convulsions. Okay, for management of convulsions, we have to administer the phenobarbital drug. Phenobarbital drug is used for the control of convulsions. Okay, next in this we have to discuss about prevention. Prevention is better than cure, no? After attacking disease, we are taking so many of precautions. But before the attack of disease, we have to take some precautions, means the disease not comes to the humans. Okay, here we have to give better prevention for the children. Okay, by birth up to 5 to 10 years of age group, we have to give some immunizations, no? Immunization schedule, vaccines. Okay, some vaccines is available in the society. Okay, why we have to provide the vaccines means for prevention of 6 or 7 diseases. Okay, the communicable diseases is prevented by the vaccines only. Okay, for prevention of measles disease, we have to give MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella. Measles, mumps, rubella vaccine at the age of 9 to 12 months. Okay, 9 to 12 months of age, we have to administer the vaccine like MMR. Okay, again the revaccination time is the duration is the 18 months of age group children. Okay, in the age of 18 months we have to give this vaccine revaccination, second dose. Okay, next passive immunization. Passive immunization exposed to the infants. Passive immunization exposed to the infants. Here one globulin. Okay, one globulin we have to administer the route of intramuscularly. Intramuscularly the dosage is the 0.25 ml per kg body weight. Okay, this is for the below 1 year of age group children or below 1 year of age group infants. This is the passive immunization. This is regarding prevention of measles. Measles is one of the communicable disease. This will be caused by the paramyxoviridae virus, that is the RNA virus. Okay, so many epidemiological agents is there. Okay, we have discussed in previous videos what is the pathophysiology, what are the types. Okay, in this video we are discussed medical management and nursing management. Okay, thank you everyone.